Your mouse glides across the desk, and the cursor follows like a shadow. No ball, no wheel, just a faint glow underneath. So how does a flat piece of plastic know exactly which way you moved, and how far? The answer is hiding in a tiny camera, one that takes thousands of pictures every single second. Let's slice the mouse open and watch it see the world. Flip the mouse over and you find a small window with a soft light behind it. Usually it is a red light-emitting diode, an LED, angled low across the surface. That low angle matters. It rakes across the desk like morning sun across a field, throwing long shadows from every bump, fiber and scratch. Even a desk that looks perfectly smooth is, up close, a rough landscape. The light turns that hidden texture into a pattern of bright peaks and dark valleys. The lit-up patch of desk reflects light back up into the mouse. Just inside sits a tiny plastic lens, no bigger than a lentil. Its job is the same as the lens in your eye: gather the scattered light and focus it into a sharp little image. That image lands on a sensor only a few millimeters wide. The picture is small, grey and blurry to us, but it holds something precious, a unique snapshot of that exact spot on your desk. That sensor is a grid of light detectors, often just 18 by 18 or 30 by 30. Compared to a phone camera with millions of pixels, this is almost nothing. But it does not need detail. Each pixel simply measures how bright its piece of the image is and stores a number. Bright spot, high number. Dark shadow, low number. In an instant, the chip holds a tiny map of brightness, a fingerprint of the surface sitting right under the light. Now the trick: the sensor does not take one photo. It takes them in a relentless stream, often more than 1,000 every second, sometimes far more. Each frame is that same little brightness map, captured a blink apart. While the mouse sits still, every photo looks identical. The peaks and valleys stay put. But the moment your hand nudges the mouse, the surface under the lens shifts, and the next photo no longer lines up with the one before it. This is where the real work happens, inside a chip called a DSP, a digital signal processor. It lays two photos side by side, the one from a moment ago and the one just taken. Then it asks a simple question. The pattern of light and dark in the old frame, where did it go in the new one? It slides the old image around, up, down, left and right, hunting for the position where the two patterns match most closely. Imagine sliding one printed photo over another until the shadows line up. When they snap into agreement, the amount you had to slide is the answer. Say the whole pattern drifted 3 pixels to the right and 1 pixel up. That tiny shift is exactly how far the desk moved beneath the lens between the two snapshots. The chip does this comparison for every single frame, measuring motion in pixels over and over, thousands of times a second. Pixels are not inches, so the chip converts. It knows how much real distance each pixel of shift represents, a figure tied to the sensor's sensitivity, often quoted as DPI, dots per inch. Add up the shifts and you get 2 running totals: how far you moved sideways and how far up or down. These become 2 numbers, a change in X and a change in Y. Not where the mouse is, only how much it just moved and in which direction. Those 2 numbers travel up the cable, or over a wireless link, to your computer. The mouse sends a small report many times a second, a rate called the polling rate, commonly 1,000 reports per second. Each report whispers the same thing: I moved this much in X, this much in Y. Your computer never learns about the desk, the light, or the photos. It simply receives a steady drumbeat of tiny movements and trusts them completely. The operating system takes each little movement and nudges the cursor by the matching amount. Move slow, the shifts are small, the cursor creeps. Flick your wrist, the shifts pile up fast, and the cursor leaps across the screen. Because the reports arrive 1,000 times a second, the motion feels instant and smooth, with no gap between your hand and the pointer. The cursor is really just the sum of thousands of tiny snapshots, added together in real time. This is also why a mouse stutters on clear glass or a mirror. With no texture to throw shadows, every photo looks the same, and the chip sees no shift even as you move. That is why some mice swap the red LED for a laser, which reveals far finer detail and works on more surfaces. But the core idea never changes. To track motion, the mouse must always have a pattern it can watch slide past beneath it. So here is the whole chain. A low-angled light rakes the desk and lights up its texture. A tiny lens focuses that texture onto a small sensor. The sensor snaps 1,000 brightness maps a second. A chip compares each photo to the last, finds how the pattern shifted, and converts that shift into a change in X and a change in Y. Those numbers stream to your computer, and the cursor moves. A camera quietly watching the desk slide by. A tiny eye, blinking 1,000 times a second, turning the plain roughness of your desk into motion on a screen. Next time the cursor follows your hand, remember the little camera doing all the looking, quiet, fast, and hidden in plain sight. Thanks for watching The Cutaway.